Hello Gemini, Gemini Rising, and Gemini Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting July 17th, 2017. And a quick reminder for a lot of you Gemini people out there, this format that I do, I mean, if you've been following me for a while, you know, whenever I get new cards, I try to at least dedicate a week to, showing the new cards, what I'm working with, getting closer looks at the style, just in case people want to actually get them for themselves, and go out and order them or whatever. So it's just for this week, just for this week. Last time I did this, people are like, don't do this forever. And I'm like, it's just showing it off for a week. But, we'll see how it goes. Another announcement I gotta let you guys all know about. I'm not actually going to be available to do readings between the 16th and the 22nd, 21st, 22nd of this coming week. I'm actually going to be going out of town. So I can't be making appointments and I won't be available to do video files. However, if you are interested in ordering video files, downloadable video files, I have all the orders going into a queue, and they will be taken care of and begun in the order they are received the following week, the 22nd, 23rd, upon my arrival back home. So, if you want to get to the head of the line, you might want to make those orders. Of course, with appointments, it's a self-schedule system when you go to my website, so you don't really need to email me anyway. You just go and schedule yourself in. And of course, don't forget, the Tarot Home Study course is available for purchase and download for $35, over 3 hours of content on video, plus supplements from the book I'm working on, and spreads and interpretation sheets and all kinds of good stuff. A lot of people are having fun with that, and so thank you everyone who's been giving me thumbs up and good reviews. And if you're interested in that again, just go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. So what's going on with the astrology this week? In the astrology, got some interesting stuff going on, but it really mellows out. Like, it's really only Monday or Tuesday that are really worthwhile talking about. And on Monday, we have a lot of crazy, but then it quickly goes away by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, so do not worry. Bear with me. On Monday, we do have Venus in your sign, forming a tense square to Neptune in your 10th house of career. And there seems to be an issue going on. We usually, whenever we have Venus and Neptune in square, we have sort of a compromised opportunity, or a tainted opportunity, or I guess you could say a tainted prospect being put on the table. This may actually be some kind of assignment that looks good on the surface, but it's really not. It could be indicating something that would otherwise be good, if not for some major flaws and potential issues down the road. And I want you to be careful about volunteering yourself too much or going for something simply because it may have a certain amount of ease, a certain amount of prestige, or a certain amount of pay to it. Because there will be something put on the table, and it looks to me like this opportunity, there's something off. Like I said, there's something tainted about it. Whether you're looking for a new job, or you are, trying to, again, kind of mosey through your own situation at your own employer, just be very careful on Monday not to bite off on something. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is on that day. Renegotiate. We also have Mars in your earned income sector that very same day, forming a tense square to Uranus, currently in your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And it looks to me like there may actually be a challenge happening, some kind of maybe a fight, a full-on altercation around an expense that you can't afford, that you are almost made to pay, or somehow feel obligated to pay on behalf of a friend, or something that is associated with a friend, or a project that you share with a friend. This could also be a really difficult day. I want you to be careful, just in general. There can be issues coming about incurring expenses with Mars square to Uranus. There can be issues with accidents, possibly issues where it's kind of like, oh God, I'm sorry, I borrowed your lawnmower and I ran over a rock, or, yes, possibly even destruction of tools and property. I don't see any injuries, thank goodness. Just be careful about what you handle, what you lend, and what you borrow, or if you're already doing that, don't touch it on Tuesday. There could be some kind of expense incurred by you or incurred by a friend that could cause a rift between the two of you. Thank God, on Tuesday, everything starts to get a lot easier and a lot better. We've got Venus, planet of love, harmony, and peace in your sign, forming a gorgeous trine to Jupiter, now in your 5th house of love and romance. And it does look like a wonderful opportunity to actually get more intimate with a partner or intimate with a crush is expanded upon due to a partner or a crush suddenly becoming more enveloped or more involved in your social life or even a personal pastime or personal passion of yours. Plus, it's also kind of nice to have a partner show interest in, something that we kind of keep to ourselves, whether it's a more childlike hobby, more childish hobby, what have you. It's kind of new territory to explore when more of those more well-guarded, but at the same time fun pastimes or escapes or sanctuary kind of moments get in, are available to us. And, a partner may be sharing theirs with you as well. This may even be a chance and a good sign for those of you who are single to, kind of embellish and bring out those kookier hobbies, those sillier, creative projects, those geekier tendencies and talents, because you may actually find that accentuating those things works wonders for you in your love life this week. So what's going on with your cards? Well, for your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Hermit card reversed. Now, interestingly enough, this is a wonderful card to have reversed because it does indicate something or somebody coming out of the woodwork. And this may actually be bringing some kind of opportunity to you for a project or a submission or something, an undertaking that you had in the past that you thought went unnoticed. And whether it's an effort that you put in, emotion that you put forward, an application that you filed, or, even a project that you submitted, something that you did, we're actually getting, some delayed recognition for, some delayed gratification for. Usually with the Hermit card reversed, we do see somebody, getting pulled out of obscurity. Now, whether this is credit for something that you have not gotten that you deserved to get, we have good news. Or this could be a situation where, that could actually be maybe you not thinking that, maybe you thought you got enough credit for it. Maybe you were the one who didn't know that things were actually supposed to be more fair for you, or that you actually were deserving of more, or what you did was more valuable than you even gave her credit for. Either way, it's an unexpected chunk of good news and recognition coming your way, and there may actually be a little something in it as a bit of compensation as well. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, and the others in your life, we do have the Queen of Cups upright. And it does look like there may be actually some good news coming from a friend or a relative who's kind of giving you the inside scoop on how to actually properly handle another person. The Queen of Cups upright often shows up as somebody who is here to help us figure somebody else out. And the Queen of Cups can often show up as sort of a translator if we're needing somebody to translate information back and forth between people, or possibly even go and stick up for us or be a bit of our advocate. If we're feeling like maybe we need somebody to kind of be the go-between, we don't like to have go-betweens, I know you Gemini people, you'd rather go out and do the dirty work yourself. The Queen of Cups upright is saying, though, this is somebody who's going to be volunteering to send this message, and sometimes, unfortunately, we're all human. There are people who have cognitive biases and relationship biases where they won't hear a message from you that they would hear and accept from another person. And if you do need that energy to get across, it looks like this Queen of Cups upright is already well aware of the situation and will step in and help you out there. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Ace of Swords reversed. There may be some troubles going on with you actually deciding that you are putting your foot down and about not wanting to make the first move or make any efforts. And the Ace of Swords reverse is kind of saying, maybe waiting for other people to take the lead, waiting for other people to take control. Whether you think it's their turn or not is just not really a good call to make this week, whether at work, at home, or in love. The Ace of Swords reverse can talk about missed opportunities to use power or misapplying our power. And, with the Ace of Swords reverse, we could be coming on too strong 1 minute and then completely coming off inactive the next. And it's very important to pay attention to where, you are doing what you want to do, or you're just doing something on accident that you can't clean up the mess. Now, I'm saying that in a very stern way because we've only got so much time in these little videos. But with the Ace of Swords reversed, it's important to pay attention to where even if, just in terms of esteem, in terms of, I guess you could say energy, in terms of, you know, the cultural agreement that is whatever. Maybe it is somebody else's turn to make the first move, take the initiative, take the lead, whatever. If nobody's doing it and someone should, you might as well let it be you and just learn to be the dang leader in the situation, and learn that that may be actually the person or the situation that you actually took on for yourself, a situation where you're always going to have to be in the lead, and that's okay. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Two of Cups reversed. So it looks like there may be a challenge going on for those of you who are single and looking. There may be somebody actually coming your way who does seem like they're very interested in a relationship, but they are still a bit too entangled with a former lover, a former crush, or maybe just, you know, too entangled with their past. And this is more than just simply being emotionally unavailable. You know, sometimes people just aren't over their ex. But what about a person who's got a lot tied up with their ex? You know, are you okay with that? Is the question you got to ask yourself. This may be a situation where, you know, if you're single and looking and you find out the ex still, you know, is still in the picture in some way, I would let that be. I don't care how cute they are. It might be a better idea to kind of let this person just chill. For those of you who are currently coupled, this is a very different kind of card. And I am feeling, you know, when it comes to the Two of Cups reversed, there is going to be a feeling of a need of some clarity between you and a partner, because I think that you're both wanting the same thing, and yet you're both afraid to hurt the other person by asking for the same thing. And it looks like with the Two of Cups reversed, there's a focus here on a check-in that needs to happen with the both of you. You know, whether or not we are feeling as thrilled about, you know, our near future, or perhaps thrilled about our current routine, both you and your partner actually want the same thing, but we're both kind of missing the mark. We're both kind of assuming the other person's going to disapprove, and we're not actually keeping, you know, a lot of clarity here. And again, someone's going to have to make the first move, and I think it's going to have to be you. Okay, because it looks like with the Two of Cups reversed, we're kind of, it's almost like we're sneaking around on something we're getting away with. Like, why are you and your partner doing that to each other? I'm not sure why. Finally, for your spiritual advice, we've got the card of the dog. Alright. And the dog is basically talking about a need to pay attention to where, you know, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay for other people to make mistakes. Loyalty is beyond mistakes. Now, the difference is that it's also very important with the message of the dog. There's a difference between forgiveness of mistakes and loyalty, you know, having patience with mistakes, and tolerating a situation that is truly toxic and truly harmful, or people that are truly harmful in our lives, okay? This situation is very much like that Two of Cups reversed. You know, I don't think anyone is really trying to hurt anybody when I see this card. I think it's just misunderstandings. I think this can easily be worked out. It's not an issue that can't be fixed with good communication. I don't see toxicity here. But with the dog, it can indicate other areas of your life you need to pay attention to as well. Okay, if you are in a situation where a person is trying to leverage your loyalty, you know, and see how far they can take it, you know, some people do that. Some people are not done working on themselves. They know that they can be a problem sometimes, and they want somebody who is loyal enough to endure them. That's not fair. So you can't allow that to happen. But at the same time, you don't want to be that person who thinks that a slight faux pas is, you know, makes an abusive, toxic relationship, because those people are crazy too. So pay attention this week with the, you know, with the loyalty card, you know, when it comes to the dog. If your loyalties are truly strong, you'll notice more investment than take from it. You'll notice more give than need. And I think that this week, you know, it's going to be very important to look at your friends, your relatives, and even your partners in this situation, and find out, well, okay, in the moment, it looks like this, but this is not the same as our whole relationship. Our whole relationship is actually better than the moment, or worse than the moment. Either way, we're going to have to look at this with all these connections, all right? So I hope you found this helpful. I'm going to talk to you later, and don't forget, if you want to get a session with me, or you want to order the home study course, you can go to my website, integratedmysticism.com.